Hello, my name is Jon Bernthal, and I feel extraordinarily lucky about being Conan O'Brien's friend.
That is really nice.
That's
I like that. You know, I've always liked you. You came on our show a couple of times. We clicked, and I was all excited you were coming on the show, and then I suddenly had an attitude about it this morning.
An attitude?
Yeah, and I'll tell you why.
Tell me.
Because a guy who works here, Aaron Blair, we call him Blay, it's just before you're going to be here, and everyone's excited that you're coming in.
Oh, boy.
Everyone here is a big fan.
Oh, man.
And I'm excited that you're coming in.
Everybody.
No, I mean, I'm excited that you're coming in. And then Blay says, yeah, he's just amazing. He said, you know, it's weird. And he wasn't doing a joke. He said, Conan, in a lot of ways, he's your opposite. What? And I was like, what? And he went, you know, because he's so cool. And he's like a real man's man. And I was like, no, seriously.
Yeah,
and everyone in the room was like, yeah.
No.
Yeah, he's like the alternate. And they meant it in the nicest way about you. And then I was like, shit, I think they're right.
I strongly disagree.
Listen, so I was just going to say, I was very tempted when you came in to fight you, but to wait until some moment when you were vulnerable. You know, I want to do it. I want to come at you when you don't expect it. I wanted Gourley to distract you, and I wanted to have like a large stick or something. So I was going to win in a completely and still you would have taken the broken stick out of my hand.
I don't know about that. You know what's crazy is I have these memories of doing your show, and you were so, you know, it's such a horrifying thing to do those shows, you know, when you're starting out, and you were so good to me. And one time I forgot my shoes. I don't know if you have it. You probably have no memory of that, but you gave me your own personal shoe. They were way too big, and I wore them on the show. And you were so good to me. And then you left
with my fucking shoes. And ever since then, and you wear them even as the Punisher.
Right.
You were wearing my shoes, which didn't even fit the character.
They really
That's not what Frank Castle would wear. And I was like, why the fuck is he wearing my shoes?
But I remember seeing you at, I think it was at one of these Hollywood, I never go to these things, but it was at Lizzie Kaplan's birthday party.
Yes.
Like on the
great Lizzie Kaplan.
The best in the world. And I
so
love
smart,
Lizzie. And
so funny, yeah.
And I saw you there, and I was literally like, I've been on your show, can I go say hello to you?
What?
And I didn't.
Yes.
I was too shy to do it, man.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
So there it goes for Blay or whatever his name is. Nah, man.
It's right over there in the
Oh,
corner.
that's you, dude. Nah, man. Me and him are the same. I'm as insecure as they get, man. I was like, shit, I wish I could go. And I literally was one of those like, should I, shouldn't I, should. And I totally
okay, so
went
John,
down.
here's how one of the ways we're different. Just before we started rolling on this, we were chatting, and the conversation started to get really good, and I thought, wait a minute, why aren't we rolling yet on this podcast? That's how fun it is to talk to John. And I was like, we gotta get going on this. We gotta start rolling. And the reason I wanted to start rolling is that you were telling a story that I can't tell.
Yes,
you were telling a story about being at it's the day before a wedding.
Oh, at Sean Carey.
And you got hit.
Yep.
You got into a fight and someone hit you with a bar stool from behind. Guess what? I don't have a story like that.
It's not. But look, by the way, just to be clear, I was trying to break up a fight, and I got hit over that. We were talking about doctors and getting hurt on things like motorcycles when you make bad decisions.
Yep.
And I will never forget. We had gotten into a fight. There's a lot of ex-pro fighters or pro fighters in Sean's family, and I was trying to break up the fight, not fight, and a guy hit me from behind with one of those outdoor bar stools, and I got knocked out for a second, and I had to get all these staples across my head, and they shaved that part of my head, and I had all this dried blood because I couldn't shower, you know, and then I had to do my best man speech looking like freaking Frankenstein. But I will never forget the look of disgust in the doctor's. You know, I went there to be treated, and it was just like, you fucking idiot. Like I have to spend my time.
He was mad at you.
Of course he was, because I'm out there, probably he thinks I'm talking smack at a bar, and he probably thought I totally had it coming. And, you know, I tried to sort of, you know, sell my side of the story to him. He wasn't interested at all.
But John, you don't understand. You have a story about breaking up a bar fight. By the way, if a bar fight breaks out, I don't break it up, okay? I run and I start swiping for an Uber, okay?
I don't know, man.
All my stories that involve going to the hospital revolve around like the medication they prescribed. I put a little too much cream on my hand. Slightly raised reddish area. And yours is Man, I'm trying to break up a bar fight. I get hit with a stool.
Yeah,
that's how we're different. I've got to be more like you.
I think you would have done the same thing.
Teach me to be like you.
Oh no, man. Oh no,
Please.
you teach me, man. I'm not the least bit proud of that. But I will say that, doctor, I could feel the palpable disgust, and that is why I do ride my motorcycle. And my wife did sort of make a deal with me years ago. She said it's either boxing or the motorcycle. And that day, I rolled my motorcycle down the street and I gave it to, there was a guy, old Phil, who lived down the street, an old Army vet. I gave him my motorcycle. But now, because of that bar stool, I get such terrible headaches when I box. I've quit sparring and I've quit mixing it up in the ring. So I'm back to the motorcycle now. But I am so afraid that if I do get hurt, the doctor is going to look at me with that same level of disgust, because this is a decision that I made myself. You understand?
Right. Stop going to that doctor.
Maybe this doctor's like this with everybody.
You think that's right?
Yeah, maybe when like a 75-year-old woman comes in and says, I think I have chest pains. You disgust me.
Weakling.
You
suck it up.
With your weak third ventricle.
Lupus, how dare you?